Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Chats with Fire. This is a casual podcast for folks in Wildland Fire by folks in Wildland Fire. I'm your host, Dana Lusk. Some of you might also know me as the girl from Anchor and Flame Candles. Today is episode 2 for 2025, and today my guest is Adrienne Steurer. Adrienne and I connected on Instagram, I don't know, probably a few months ago.
Yeah, I think a
Um,
few months ago.
yeah, I was looking and just kind of looking towards the first responder therapy dog thing and stumbled across her page, Maisie, the first responder dog. So some of you are probably familiar with her. But I wanted to have Adrienne on today just to kind of talk about her work with first responder dogs, first responders. She's a first responder, was a first responder herself.
Was.
Okay. Yeah. So, Adrienne, thank you so much for agreeing to come on today.
You're
I'm really
welcome. Thank
excited.
you. Thank you for having us on. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I don't
So,
want to. I was gonna say
sorry.
I don't want to hog the field. So, I would love it if you just kind of introduce yourself, tell us about the program, what you do with Maisie, all the things.
Okay, so I'm Adrienne and this is Maisie, and we're a volunteer team with First Responder Therapy Dogs. We started in June of 2023, and we've completed just over 100 therapy dog visits to first responders in and around Northern California, and then a small part of Nevada in South Lake Tahoe. So
Oh,
basically what we do is we visit first responders either at base camps or at their station. If they're a dispatcher, we go to their call center. We go to police departments, fire departments. Um, Maisie and I go to a pediatric urgent care, but other teams have been known to go to hospitals, emergency departments, anywhere where they're invited to go. We can't just show up anywhere we want,
mhm.
so we have to be invited.
Okay. And how long you said since June of 23?
Yeah, so we're coming up on 2 years.
Okay. So I'm trying to think chronologically what makes sense. So you did say that you were a first responder. So did that kind of lead you into this program of volunteering, or how did that all go down?
Yeah, so I was an EMT quite a few years ago, and I also worked at a helicopter company where they did transfer center coordinator. So a patient would end up at a hospital, and they'd call us and say, we can't take care of them. So we would find a hospital for them to go to that they could be treated at, and as well as that, find transport for them. So I was kind of a dispatcher because it was shift work and we were answering phones and helping that way. So it was like 911 for hospitals.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I did that for a few years too, and then decided I wanted to go back to school and get my teaching credential and go back into teaching.
Okay.
Um, that kind of worked out. I am working at a school. I'm not currently teaching.
Okay.
COVID kind of threw a wrench in that, but I do. I work in an elementary school for their before and after care program with elementary school kids that are TK through fifth grade. And I'm there all day, and we provide all kinds of fun activities for them to do. But that job allows me to connect with the community and find first responders to visit, as well as, gives me this whole summer off and weekends to go visit first responders. So it works out perfect.
That's amazing. Yeah. I'm assuming then, I mean, is it like the majority of your stuff happens in the summer with that schedule and like fire season as well?
Yes. So during summer, when we go camping, we Maisie and I will also visit nearby fire departments when we're camping. So, like when we go to South Lake Tahoe, we'll go visit everybody up in South Lake Tahoe when we're up there.
That's very cool.
Yeah, we Sometimes we try to plan camping trips around where there's fire stations and see if we can go visit them. Like I'll email them before and and see if that's a possibility.
Okay, cool. So,
Sometimes they're not there though because it's summer and they're gone.
yeah, I can see that. Um, I was getting ready to ask you something and I lost it. Oh my gosh. Oh, so I and I don't know much about like the program. Just like I said, I had kind of scratched the surface. I think that might be something I'd like to do with our beagle. Um, how long, like training wise or prep wise, to get into this? What did that entail with you and Maisie?
So we started off with Maisie first. So it's basic obedience. Um, so they have to pass their canine good citizen, which is pretty much just basic dog obedience. Coming when called, staying when you ask them to stay, um, being neutral around other dogs, being neutral around people, not lunging and pulling on their leash, not eating food off the ground, basic stuff like that. Once they pass that test, for first responder therapy dogs, we have to pass a behavioral assessment to make sure that they feel comfortable around loud noises like an emergency room, fire trucks, garbage trucks. And if they're good with that, then that's her end of it. The rest of it for me is taking like psychological first aid course, some FEMA courses, behavioral first aid classes, and then passing those courses, and then a background check, and then a confidentiality agreement as well. Because wherever we're at, people are probably talking about, calls and stuff. We can't talk about that after our visit with anybody.
Yeah, I honestly I wouldn't have thought about that, but I'm glad that you brought that up. I mean, that's that's one of those things that's always like it happens in the background and people just don't know about it. So
Yeah.
that's
So if anyone says anything about patients and stuff in front of any of us, we don't ever repeat any of that information.
yeah,
It's always confidential.
yeah. Oh, cool. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Hmm. Very cool. Um, what like through this journey of doing all this volunteer work, then what I'm curious, like what's your favorite part of all of that?
Um, for me, my favorite part is when we connect with people in the public. Like, we did the 9/11 stair climb in Sacramento, and all these firefighters walk by, and sometimes they wave at us or they stop and pet Maisie. And there was this one firefighter at the end of the stair climb from Humboldt, and he stopped and he pet Maisie, and he like had a moment with her that it was really sweet. Like he just sat with her and they like touched faces and he just scruffled her ears and he was like, I really needed that, thanks. And that's just really, it's just amazing the work that she does just by being herself. Just watching her make a connection with somebody without even have to like say anything to them.
It's weird how dogs have that ability to just like they just brighten up a room, like you said, just by being themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. She just shows up and she's cute and sweet and she lifts up the whole room when she walks in, and everyone's super excited to see her. And just watching her work her magic is just amazing. That's my favorite part.
Yeah. I know with our little beagle, he's so funny. So he's very sweet and he's very nice, and he also has his moments where he's really sassy. Um, but it's funny, like we'll be out walking and people are like, "Oh, can I pet your dog?" And I'm expecting like, okay, just like a minute or so, and then it usually turns into like 5 or 10 minutes, and they're like, "Wow, he's so great, he's so wonderful," and like just striking up conversation. So I think it's pretty cool. Just four-legged friends have a way of making extra friends.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just an amazing connection. They don't have to say anything like how they're feeling or talk to her about, the bad things that they see or whatever. They just connect through just looking at each other, and she instantly helps, their mood, their serotonin, all the feel good hormones. She instantly lifts those up, lowers blood pressure. Everyone always feels better after we leave. They don't want us to leave, but after we leave, they're like, oh, feel a lot better.
Yeah. I just saw a comment come through, so I'm going to read this too. How many hours or visits do you have to complete to be an official therapy dog? Good question.
Are you talking about for like our organization, or there's like a kennel club title? And we just earned an American Kennel Club title for completing 100 visits. But there's no official number of visits you have to be a therapy dog for our organization. Once you get certified, after you've passed all of the assessments, the background check, and the stuff for your dog, you're officially a therapy dog team.
So it's more like your criteria, your classes, all of those things that need to be complete rather than, go out and practice for 50 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that answer your question? I know that's our friend Linda. She's asking.
I'm kind of glad to hear all of that too, because that was my thought is before chatting with you about it, I was like, man, how does all of that work as far as training and whatnot?
So for us, we did a lot of training at like Home Depot, and we found a good trainer that did like group training around dogs and other people, just to get her more focused on me rather than distracted by everything else. Because even though when we were still on a visit, she still has to be on her, her very best behavior and still focused on me, even when she's giving other people attention.
I'm sure that could be very difficult,
Yeah.
if a dog has so much going on. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. If they've got snacks or something, it's a little bit of a struggle. So somebody's food motivated.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, yeah, I think about our little guy and I'm like, oh, if somebody has food or his nose gets to going, like sometimes it's a done deal. We got to work on that.
Yeah. She's still good though. She'll still listen.
Yeah. Well, I know you told me earlier that you have another dog. I forget.
Tanner.
Tanner. Okay.
I can get him to join in. Tanner, come here, buddy.
Oh.
Come here, bud. Up. Here's my little buddy.
He's like, I'm here for the snacks.
Yep.
And you said
come here, up.
He's more kind of like more afraid of the noises and things. So he's
he's a little bit more skittish. He's not a big fan of strangers, so he's not the ideal therapy dog. He wouldn't be a good fit for being a therapy dog.
Yeah. Well, I like the concept of like making sure it's a good fit for the dog and everybody else instead of, oh, hey, I have a dog. I'm going to do this. Like if it doesn't work for the dog, it's probably just not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah. There's been places that Maisie and I have been where it just doesn't work. It's too loud. It's too distracting. We went to a hockey game. We thought she would be fine because we did some conditioning. It was way too loud. We had to leave. We've tried conditioning when there's like law enforcement or military, like memorials. They do the 21 gun salute. She's not a fan of when the guns go off. So we don't go to those events.
Yeah.
We've tried. It's just too loud. It's like, no, well, this doesn't work for her. We have other teams that can do those things and help out. So we do what's best for us, for Maisie. She always comes first when we do visits.
Yeah. I think that's great.
Like if she's tired, if she's not feeling it, then, we end the visit early. It's it's about giving back to first responders, but also making sure that your dog is comfortable and safe as well. They have to be enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's just like you would think anybody, you would think anybody, you're on the job and you're like, man, I'm really not feeling good or something's wrong. You're probably, excuse me, you're probably not going to work at your optimal level. So, hey, take the
Exactly.
day and go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go home, she decompresses, I give her some, we call it, it's our Grandma Lucy's. They sponsor us. They give us free dog food every month, which is
Oh, wow.
super, super nice. It's freeze dried food, and she gets that on a lick mat. It's frozen, so she gets to have that time to lick it off of her mat and decompress. And we do that after every visit. She probably collects a lot of their thoughts and stress with visiting some people. She's drawn to people. She'll sit with them and let them pet her for an extended amount of time sometimes. And I feel like she's made a connection with them. She's taking that stress from them sometimes. So when we go home, I let her decompress so that we're ready for the next visit next time.
Yeah. Well, it's like people too. I mean, I'm one of those, like, I tend to draw my energy from who's around me, and I'm also
Mm,
very empathetic. So if I'm talking with somebody and kind of going through that with them, sometimes I'm like, wow, I really like, I feel that heaviness. I just need to decompress as well. Um, and I think that's really important just for overall, us and dogs. I think they carry that just like we do.
yeah, yeah, we need to decompress as well. Like, I'll doom scroll after a visit
Yep.
or read or something to help me too. So yeah, I take a page out of Maisie's book, decompress,
Yeah.
have some self-care.
Yes, yes. Um, so it looks like we have another question. How did you get Maisie and what is her background?
So Maisie's a rescue dog, and we got her in 2019 from Foothill Dog Rescue in Shingle Springs, California. And she was dropped off at a shelter in Sacramento with another dog by her owner. Um, I'm not gonna even call him an owner because they just dumped her at the shelter.
Yeah.
She was rescued by Foothill Dog Rescue, and she got really sick after she got spayed. She was coughing a lot and then ended up having to be on IV fluids and having her head propped up, like just so she could breathe. Her foster family wasn't sure she was even going to make it.
Oh,
Um, yeah, they're her foster mom Eileen, her husband would walk by and be like, I don't know if that dog's gonna make it. And she's
oh my
like, I don't
God.
know, she might, she's gonna pull through, and she did. Um, she still coughs sometimes if she drinks wrong. She has like scar tissue. Um, she'll cough a little bit, but other than that, she's totally fine. And we adopted her on her first weekend available for adoption.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Oh, did you
Um,
know?
no, we went to go look at another dog, and sometimes people they foster fail like right before adoptions. So they'll
Huh.
be fostering a dog and they're like, no, I want to keep it. And the dog that we wanted to look
Okay.
at foster failed like right before we went. And we were already up there and we had our other dog that he passed in 2020. So uh, we had him with us because you're supposed to bring your other dog and any family, to the meet and greet just to make sure that it's a good fit. And her and Junie got along really well. He was 14 at the time, so he was just like whatever. And she respected his space as a senior dog, and she was just the sweetest. I just remember seeing her for the first time, just run around in the room, and she came in and she was so sweet and so cute, and It went really well, and then they called us back that day to come pick her up.
Wow, that's wild. Must have been meant to
It
be.
was meant to be because we didn't even know anything about this dog. We weren't looking for this dog. We weren't, we didn't apply for her. I didn't even know who she was. I didn't even see like her picture because we were looking at this totally other dog.
Yeah.
Um, and they're like, well, we have this other one. If you're here, you want to stay and look at it? And we're like, okay,
Yeah. Might as well.
sure. Yeah, we'll stay. And then that's how we got her.
Yeah. And when you got her, were you even thinking about the therapy stuff, or did that just happen to come later
That
then?
that happened to come later. I thought maybe since she's kind of like a cattle dog mix, we could do like agility, but she didn't want to do that stuff. She just loves to be loved on and get pets. And I was like, well, maybe you'll be a good therapy dog. And
Yeah.
um, I wasn't really sure how to start doing that because I didn't know anybody who had a therapy dog or anyone who did anything like that. And then we found first responder therapy dogs on Instagram, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
So a little bit before we went live, you were telling me first responder therapy dogs now has 46 states covered by therapy dogs.
Yes. So we're in 46 states. Um, excuse me, I don't know which states we don't have because it's on my phone and I can't see it.
I will pull it up for
Okay,
you.
sweet. And we just today got our 400th team for first responder therapy dogs. So we
That
have
is,
400 teams and almost 100% nationwide to visit first responders.
that is awesome.
It is. It started with one dog in 2021, Kareth. They started in Marin County, and they just started visiting the hospital out in Marin County. And Heidi noticed that Kareth was really good with the paramedics, and she's like, "This is really cool." So she decided to start first responder therapy dogs back in 2021, and we've grown just so huge since then with so many different dogs, Goldens and rescues and Newfies and Dalmatians. It's really awesome.
Is there is there like a more, I hate saying like a more popular breed, but I know like some dogs are really, really good in social and some dogs are like, no, I'd rather just do my own thing. Like, have you found different breeds that people gravitate towards for the program, or is it just
There's a lot of doodles and Goldens, I think,
okay?
because of their temperament. But there's also a lot of rescues too. We've got a few Newfies, the Newfoundlands, and those dogs are giant. They're giant loves.
Big.
um, So I think it just depends on the dog itself, but yeah, we have a lot of Goldens in our organization and a lot of Doodles too.
Okay. Yeah, I know when I was growing up, it seemed like we always had a golden retriever at some point. And man, talk about an affectionate, just loving, loyal dog. They are amazing.
Oh, they're so sweet. One of our teammates, her dogs just had puppies, or one of her dogs just had puppies, and we went to go see them, and they're just so cute. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take it home.
Yeah.
We can't take it home, but
Yeah.
they're just the sweetest, cutest little puppies. I'm like, maybe someday.
Yeah. Yeah. With our one, I keep talking about like I would really, really love to get him a playmate. I'm not quite ready to raise another puppy. Um, but every time I see pictures of puppies, I'm like, oh, they're so cute. I just want to take them all home.
Right. It's really hard. I'm like, I have to give this back to you before I take it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's funny. So I did get that picture pulled up, the one that you sent me with the 46 states.
Yeah,
And it says the four teams that they still need, or four states where they still need teams: Nebraska, Wyoming, Louisiana, and Mississippi.
yeah.
Okay.
So
So
fingers crossed.
yeah, I was
Yeah, if
gonna
anyone
say,
out there has any of those states, please join.
yeah, yeah. That is impressive. 46 states.
It's a it's a wonderful organization to be involved with. Everyone is just so welcoming, and all of the new teams that come in, everyone is just so excited. And people that have been here for longer than us, they're super helpful with helping everyone, you know, learn how to be a team. You know, we give advice to other people. I asked for advice and I got really good advice on how to connect with law enforcement and firefighters, you know, the best course on how to do more visits and, you know, how to present ourselves better, what kind of things we could use to make more connections, like business cards and stickers and trading cards and stuff, and social media accounts. Everyone's super helpful on how to get started so that we can make the most of our time as a team to help others.
Now, as far as the team goes, is that something that you guys do you like meet up and have get-togethers, or is it just kind of like, hey, we have this group, reach out by email, you know?
Um, for us, it's mostly through email. There's other teams that live closer to each other that may meet up, but most of it is on social media. We have a Facebook group that we can chat with and share different events, or we'll email each other, hey, this event's going on, or here's some connections for these people if you want to start visiting them, which is really nice. We all share and connect different places that we visit. So
Yeah.
if there's a new team and they haven't gone on any visits, you know, we'll share, you know, that info with the place that we're visiting, as well as the other person will start helping them make connections to do visits.
Okay. That's cool. I mean, and it sounds like there's a pretty good support system for you guys, so it's not just like release you into the wild.
Yeah. Initially, when you start, you're kind of on your own unless there's other teams around you that can help. So, like when we started, we were the very first team in our county. Now there's 3 teams, including us, which is really nice.
Yeah. Now, I know you said earlier, like different, I guess, different departments or stations, whatnot, they would reach out. So is that through the actual program, or is that to you as individuals, like if you have a business card?
So, usually it depends. So, our first visits, we were connected um, to them from Heidi, our director. She said that there's a dispatch center that wants visits. Can you go visit them? And I was like, sure, we can go visit them. And then once we started, I was, you know, handing out business cards with our name on it, emailing, you know, fire chiefs and police departments, you know, attending community events to get more exposure, uh, to see if anyone else wanted visits. So that's how we got started.
Yeah. I'm sure too, like word of mouth, I'm sure that just takes off.
Yeah.
Huh. I know 2 years ago, I was back home in Alaska, went on a dispatch assignment at my original dispatch center where I started back in 2016. Um, and there was a gal that came in and she had a therapy dog, and it was just the coolest thing, like obviously to see a dog in there, but also to like watch all of the guys, just that interaction and just kind of like letting loose and whatever. It's such a cool experience.
Yeah. It's really fun watching people who are kind of like, I don't know, salty and just, you know, stone
Yeah.
faced, see Maisie and our other teams and just melt, you know. they just get all excited and just, oh, there's a dog, and it's just the sweetest thing. They let their true selves shine through instead of their, hardened persona because of, the job.
Yeah.
They can take their armor down and feel their feelings and feel better. They're not like, ah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I think that's amazing. Hmm. And then, so you said it is a nonprofit. I do know that. I know you said something about like fundraising. So do you guys also host a bunch of fundraisers, or is it just monetary donations, or what does that look like?
It's both. So we have fundraisers that we'll host every once in a while on Instagram. Like we just had one for t-shirts. We have one coming up. I forgot what month it is, but we're having a gala on the East Coast. And there's more info on our social media sites and then on our website about that. I'm not really sure all of it because it's on the East Coast and we're not going. But there's a gala that will be happening on the East Coast. Every year we have the calendar competition. We sent you a calendar.
Yep.
So every year there's a calendar competition, and this last year Maisie, she got on the cover with an ambulance from Cal Tahoe EMS, and all of our dogs
So pretty.
are just so cute in it, and everyone's open to participate. Your dog doesn't have to be a therapy dog to participate in the competition.
Okay.
And then there's other days where we have days where you can put your dog on a day.
I loved it.
And it's just so sweet. And that's going to come up in like September. I think they're doing it a little bit earlier.
Okay.
So that'll be fun. So anybody can join. It doesn't have to be a therapy dog, and you don't have to have your dog in a vest and be, official looking like most of the dogs that have been in the calendars. So we just want to let people know that, if you want your dog in the calendar, you can submit your dog. It's just our organization running the calendar contest for a fundraiser for first responder therapy dogs. Because in the past, it's been mostly our dogs in the calendar, which is great, but we also want to see other people join as well.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah. It's not
cool.
open. It's not exclusively for first responder therapy dogs. It's for any dog, anybody, and it's a really fun competition.
Yeah. It's probably also a good way too to kind of get people thinking about like, oh, is this something that my dog and I could do? Like, could we be a team? Are we fit for this? Open that doorway.
Yeah, it is. And it's just really, really cute to see all the different people who join the competition, and it's a friendly competition. Maisie and I'll shoot out votes and donate for other teams and stuff too. So
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
yeah, it's fun. So you should get Tater in there.
That's what I'm actually kind of sitting here like, okay, I'm sure I could get a picture with him, and like, I don't know if I'd be able to have a like my husband and his engine or something. I mean, it'd be kind of fun, maybe.
Yeah. Well, we have some of them aren't even on. I'm sorry, Betty. They're not like Ash. He's not in front of a fire engine, so it could be any background that you want.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah. Sorry, Tanner. I'm scaring him with the calendar. He's like, "What are you doing, Mom?
Oh no.
You want cookie? Go. Snack time."
Oh. And what kind of dogs? Some kind of a
So
shepherd or something?
yeah, Tanner's like a shepherd mix. Come here, buddy. Up. He's like a shepherd mix.
He's so
We
cute.
call him the super shepherd. He's a sweetheart. He loves us. He's in love with everybody that he loves. But if he doesn't know you, then he doesn't
Uh,
love you.
okay.
He's one of those guys. But he's just the sweetest. He's such a sweetheart, and he's so much fun. And then Maisie's like a cattle dog mix. Um, she sheds a lot.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
It's shedding season right now. So she's a cattle dog mix.
Oh, look at her. She's like, life is so good, Mom.
Life is good. And they're like twins almost. It's really fun.
I was gonna say that they look a lot alike.
Yeah. Um, I can tell the difference.
Mhm.
Um, I can tell the difference when they're on the bed at night. If I reach out to pet them, I can tell the difference in their fur. They drink differently. I can hear them at night, the difference between the two. But sometimes when they're running around, I will call the wrong dog. It's just a blur of tails and ears.
Yeah, we uh, we just watched one of our friends. I actually don't know who Lucy is, but we had their dog here for a few days, and she is probably 13 or 14. And at one point, I heard one of them barking, and I thought it was our dog, and so I was kind of fussing, like, "Hey, be quiet in there!" And come to find out, it was their dog, and I was like, "Oh, I guess I
Sorry.
didn't." Sorry about that. Yeah,
Oops.
yeah. He's just kind of looking at me like, "It's not me, Mom."
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put them in the same bandanas. They were wearing like the same yellow bandanas, and I'm like, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I can't tell the difference between you two now.
I'm sure that's how people feel, like people with twins when they
Yeah,
do the coordinated outfits or whatever. I'm like, why do you torture yourself? Why do you do that?
yeah. Like I can tell the difference between the two, but when I put them in the same bandana, I'm like, this is going to be difficult.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. Hmm. Well, I know. So I have your, yeah, I think I have both for Maisie and then also the actual program. I have both Instagram accounts. So what I will do too on this, however, I have this formatted, posted, whatever, I'll be sure to put the links and then definitely the website too. That way, if anybody wants to find out more about the program, check it out. If they're interested in joining, I'll definitely link all
Yeah,
the information.
yeah, that'd be great. I know we just reached 400 teams, but we're always looking for more so that we can help more first responders, throughout the United States. Just because we have somebody in a certain state doesn't mean that they are able to cover the whole state. So if we can have more people in states that already have teams too, that would be great. It doesn't matter if we overlap or whatever. We just want as many teams as we can to help as many first responders as we can.
Yeah.
And definitely what we do makes a difference. On our website, there's testimonials from first responders, you know, sharing their love for all of our teams do, and it's really powerful.
Yeah. Um, golly, I feel like my short-term memory right now is just shot. I had something else I was going to ask you. Oh, as far as it kind of loops back around to like training. So I know you were talking about like is it the good citizens or the canine good
The
citizens?
the canine good citizen.
Okay. Um, I guess my question is like if somebody wants to start the path of working as a first responder dog therapy team, uh, does it really matter like if they start training their dog for that first? Should they get a heads up to see if that's something they want to do? Like, does that make sense?
I would, for me, I would start with a dog and just make sure that your dog's a good fit. Um, because anybody can go and visit, humans and do interactions if that's something that you are comfortable doing, because you have to also interact with strangers. So you have to be somewhat outgoing. I'm I'm a total introvert. I'm super shy. um, you have to be able to connect with people on who may not always want to connect with you as well. So you have
Mhm.
to be warm and open, and also, be willing to have rejection too, because some people don't want to interact with your dog. They don't want to interact with you. We've had that happen where we'll be out and people just totally ignore us, and it's like, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
Um, but I would work on seeing if your dog is a good fit first, because you already know how you are as a person. If you're going to be able to handle that, then go ahead and go for it.
Yeah.
Um, but I would definitely focus on seeing if your dog's a good fit. Like Tanner's not a good fit, even though he's such a sweet little guy. He's not a good fit as a therapy dog. Um, he's my therapy dog for at home. He works from home.
I like that. Huh. Yeah, I think that's good information. I know for me it's one of those things that I'm like, yeah, that sounds really great. I'd love to do that. And there's still things with our dog that I'm like, well, he really doesn't like loud noises. And the beagle nose is just it is out of this world. Like if he gets on a scent, I might as well just be talking to a wall sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, he behaves well for the most part, but there's those things that I'm like, he realistically might not be fit for this, regardless how much I think it would be a great idea. So that's good to know. You know, we're more focused on the dog than us, because if it's something we want to do, we're gonna do it anyways. But
Yeah, you have to be a good advocate for your dog. If it's not a good fit for them, then it's not going to work. But yeah, definitely just focus on more training, and we can talk about that, later too. If you have questions, I can help answer those as well.
sure, yeah, I love that. How to cover up the hound nose.
I don't know how to do that. Our first dog was a lab hound mix, and I remember taking him on walks, and I'm just like, he's just gonna pull my arm out of my socket.
Yep.
He's
We've
all in the scent.
we've finally gotten to that point where it's like, okay, heel is coming around, but every now and then he'll see something or smell something, and I'm the same. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna lose my arm today, but it's all right. Um, so I want to kind of be aware of people's time too. I know we're kind of coming up on an hour. Um, we did have a comment come through from, I think you said her name was Linda,
Yeah.
friend of yours. Um, so I just wanted to make sure that you got this. It says, you are both a wonderful team, and it has been a blessing to see your outreach to all of our local agencies.
Oh, thank you, Linda. You're the sweetest. Linda's a chaplain that works in our county, and she's just the sweetest person. She's amazing, and we love seeing her when we go out to different things.
That's awesome. I love that. Good to have good people in your corner, good community, for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, like I said, I do want to be conscious of everybody's time and your time as well. I know we kind of had a little bit of technical difficulties starting, so thanks for bearing with me.
Oh, no
Uh,
worries. I'm glad it worked out.
yeah, I really appreciate you taking your time to hop on and kind of just give us all a little lowdown about the therapy dog program. Do you have any other thoughts or things that you want to add before we close out?
No, I just want to thank you for having us on so that we could share about our organization, not just us as a team, but, for our whole organization so that we can add more teams to more areas. It'd be
Absolutely.
cool if we got more visits out of this, but, we're pretty busy as it is. So, if there's anyone that sees us and you're in Northern California, we would love to come see you. Um, or you can join our team. uh, or if you're anywhere else and you want to join our team, go ahead and go to our website. It's firstrespondertherapydogs.org, or you can find us on Instagram, and they're on TikTok too, and
Oh, fun.
Facebook. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I will definitely be sure to add that in. if you want to make sure that all of the links and things are correct, or feel free to send them my way. I'd love to put that out there just so more folks can have access.
Yep. Yeah, I'll help you make sure that that's all good.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Adrienne. I really appreciate it. Give some love to your pups for me.
I will. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I hope you have a great day.
Thanks. You
All right.
too.
Bye.
Bye.